As always, welcome back to another video. As you guys could tell from the title, yes, it is another day we reset. I might be a little bit late on it, but as you saw in the background, I do have something else to show y'all. I did recently start doing builds once again. So as you guys remember, they did change the front page, so now it's just featured daily offers. And they're basically just all silver now. For the first one, we do have an ornament for Thorngold for 1,250 Bright Dust, and it is called Heretic Robe, and it looks like the hive on the moon. I forgot exactly what they're called. I think they're called like Splintered Hive. Not exactly sure. But we also do have an exotic ornament for Pyrogale Gauntlets, but it is no longer just for Pyrogale. We will go and look into it now. It is called the Harrier, and when you pair this with the exotic ornament, or not the ornament, the legendary ornament, the eyes will glow and the flames will be bigger. And I think they also grow when your super is active, or not active, but fully charged. So that's a pretty cool exotic. But you can get those for any exotic arms. We also have the Roller Coaster exotic emote for 4,250 Bright Dust. We also have the Scarlet Swarm Shell going for 2,850 Bright Dust. And yeah, another splintered hive shell. We also have the Eclipse Hunter from Episode Echoes going for 2,000 Bright Dust. Really decent looking ship.
Wow, I like the roller coaster.
Yeah, I think that was like one of the most bought exotic emotes during Season of the Wish. We also have the Metropolitan Cutter. Not much going on with this. We also have the Fluid Dance go for 700 Bright Dust. The Force Damage go for 3,250 Bright Dust. Alright, and now we also have the Camo Projection. This is part of one of the packs for, I think, this season. So if you want that, you can go and pick that up for 1,500 Bright Dust. We also have the Sakura Shader go for 300. This is from Edge of Fate. There's like blossoms on it and everything. Let's see, we also have the Dawning Ellen. I think that's how you say it. A very shiny shader with some gold in it. We also have the Irradiant Charoid. This is like the prismatic shader before the prismatic was even mentioned. As you can see right there on the armor. Has a fractured iridescent look to it. And we also have the Metropolitan Acoustics shader. Green and white. Yeah, just green and white. We also have the Chrysalis Entrance going for 450 Bright Dust. We also have the Ossified Entrance going for 450 as well. And we also have the Hive Revival. Oh, not Revival. Arrival. My bad. And we do have the Flaming Hula Hoop going for 1,000 silver. This is all silver, by the way. It goes for 1,000 silver, the first one. We have the Playing Airplane go for 1,200 silver. We have the Nuclear Shell. Don't know how much that goes for. We also have the Old Faithful go for 800 silver. The Cyber Jockey, I'd say that also goes for 800. All three of these, yeah, the bike and the Ghost might also go for not 300, my bad, 800. And let's see, what else we got? We have the Dunce Cap go for 500 silver. The Smooth Dance go for 500 silver, and the Slapshot go for 800 silver, and that is a finisher. Alright, now for the build, we are going to go ahead and start up a solo ops. Alright, let's see which one. Let's do some Skywatch. Let's also see if we could lock equipment. Yes, we can. Not really anything in here that buffs anything, but we will go ahead and put on Brawler. And that will be the only buff modifier we have active for Skywatch. Now I'm going to show you my weapons of choice. With the recent update that we got, all micro missile frames are unstoppable stunning, and as you can see with Chill Clip, it slows nearby targets. And I'm not going to say exactly what it does, but you could tell exactly what it does. Same thing for like any overload weapon. It can stun both unstoppables and overloads. In 3 hits it'll freeze, but the first hit it'll slow. But you don't need to freeze unstoppable with this one, which is like one of the best things. I was trying to get the Burden of Guilt with Chill Clip, would have been better. Didn't get lucky. We also have an adaptive frame trendsetter. As you can see, I have Trickle Charge and Jolted Feedback. So that's ready barrier and overload. And we also have Thunder Lord, of course. And in here we do have.
Just a team of one, eh? Don't get
Let's go
lonely
in it
out
real
there.
quick.
Loneliness will be the least of your
The chase
worries.
evidence, rapid hits or rapid final blows on targets affected by jolt or blind will generate ionic traces. Picking up an ionic trace grants an armor charge. And the thick of it, rapid final blows while surrounded grant you armor charge. So already 2 things to armor charge right there. And our weapons gain increased handling and swords gain increased charge rate. Retinal burn, rapid arc weapon, precision hits consume an armor charge to trigger a blinding burst at the target's location. Curative orbs the first time you break a combatant's shield, or target shield, my bad. For the shield of a guardian using their super, you create an orb of power. Collecting an elemental pickup, collecting an orb of power, or destroying a tingle grants you a small amount of health. So all these right here are just based on armor charges. Really, really good. You get health every time we pick up any elemental pickup from any source. We also have the total carnage after finishing a powerful combatant. Gain temporary damage resistance and replenish health. We also have the arc compounding. Arc sources do increased damage to blind targets, so that goes into retinal burn. And we also have debilitating wave. Finishers emit a damaging wave that matches element of your currently equipped super arc, void of stasis. Waves blind, weaken, and slow respectively. So when we do a finisher, we will be healing and blinding targets. Here are the armor mods. As you can see, I have 2 elemental charges right here. to make sure I do get those extra armor charges. Do have this as well so that we could heal whenever we need to. And we also have these as well. No font mods at all. So it's going to get right into it. I might have to reload the activity. It probably won't matter. We just gotta kill 70 combatants. As you can see, we broke the shield, we got an orb. Okay, they're hiding. It's gonna get us some heavy ammo. We are using active war rig for the extra damage for autos and machine guns. As you can see, we picked up 1 orb of power and 1 ionic trace.
Only 7-0, that's no biggie for you.
Yeah, as long as I'm able to finish this within the time limit, it'll pretty much be alright. So yeah, every time you break an enemy shield, you will be getting an orb of power. Works on barriers as well. Watch this. Orb of power right there. And we do not have any real amount of healing in here. Only the ionic traces. Got 2 barricades down. And now we're ready to go. The main way to get amplified was just by melee hits on Titan, but since I'm using Bastion, no, not Bastion, wrong subclass. I'm using the bolt charge barricade and the aspect that gives you iron traces for the steel damage with the pulse grenade. Dang. That's the only annoying part. When it is the Fallen,
You're the Destiny 2 version of Fast and Furious.
The Destiny 2 version of Fast and Furious. I wonder what that would look like. We do gotta keep it moving. A lot of snipers over here. You can see it blinded him. Already got our class back. Oh my god. As you can see, we did get back our barricade rather quickly. Okay, this is one of the areas. Get out of here with that. Now we are just waiting on this one. Alright, now let's move on to the final one. Still have 10 seconds on our barricade. We already got a half back. Got another barricade. All we gotta do is wait. And it's almost done. There we go. We got our bolt charge going. And now we just gotta fight the two bosses, the mini boss and the actual boss.
This is the last of them. Knock them dead.
I'm going to pick up some hero now. So while you have bolt charge, doing damage will generate more, which also helps out with active more rig because of this weapon having a very short mag. As you can see, all of our armor charges. They're just ionic traces everywhere. As you guys can see, he's running. You can see we do get back our barricade and everything else rather quickly when it does come to a boss. No revives left. This is our last one. We can only heal using our ionic traces. Just like that. We did it. But no revives left. Let's go.
Not quite. Ido intercepted their communications. More plan to arrive later. Sounds like Vanguard should send some of their people to prepare for their arrival. We don't have resources to spare, contrary to your assumption. Do not fret. Our Guardian will strike again when the time is right. Keep your schedule clear, I guess.
122 kills, kind of better than the rest of my builds. Well, at least for one that doesn't just spam abilities. This one you have to actually use your gun. But yeah, we're gonna go and leave it, and I'll show you guys what I have on the subclass. Now, this one you can switch between the Fist of Havoc or the Thunder Crash. Thunder Crash is probably the best one to go for in like strikes or fire team ops or pinnacle. This one is just good for like solo runs because it's blinding targets. You gain increased damage with it. I am running Rally Barricade, Strafe Lift, Thunderclap, of course. You have to get a running head start for both of these, but this one you have to be in the air. So this is your best option right here. We are running Pulse Grenade, and that goes into the Touch of Thunder, which states Pulse Grenade, Ionic Traces periodically. No, it creates Ionic Traces periodically as it damages targets and increases in damage over time. So the longer it's on a target, the more damage it'll do. And we also have Storm's Keep as well. Standing by near barricade will grant you Bolt Charge. That feeds into Trickle Charge. And with this, you get an extra 2 pulses for your grenade, so it'll go up to 8 pulses, granting you at least, most of the time, 5 or 6 Ionic Traces, which is a lot. You could switch this out for the Spark of Brilliance. Defeating a blinded target with a precision damage creates a blinding explosion. It does give you 10 plus super, and it does add more blind to the enemies, so they won't really be able to do anything to you. You could also run Spark of Amplitude, but then you're missing out on the extra damage from the grenade, and not only the grenade, the Ionic Traces. Now, we are running Spark of Ions. Defeating a jolted target or defeating a target with Bolt Charge creates an Ionic Trace. That goes into both of these right here, because Bolt Charge can be triggered by your Pulse Grenade. And we also are running Spark of Resistance. While surrounded by combatants, you are more resistant to incoming damage. And we are running Spark of Discharge. Arc Weapon final blows have a chance to create an Ionic Trace. Collecting an Ionic Trace grants you a stack of Bolt Charge. Now, it does take away some melee, but we are sitting at 125 for melee, 104 for grenade, and 80 for class, and 54 for health, and 70 for weapons, or 76 for weapons. Now, let's see. Yeah, this is not our only source of Bolt Charge, as you can see, but in the artifact right here, if I can remember exactly which one it was, this is Armor Charge, another Armor Charge, Blinding Burst, Orb of Power, and Elemental Pickup. That's part of the healing right there, so that's actually the best one to run with Arc. These two right here, well, no, the 2 finisher ones you don't really have to run, but there's nothing else in here unless you are using a grenade launcher. But Arc compounding, Arc sources deal increased damage to blind targets. Now the armor set, I am running the Luminipotent. It states for the 2-piece, while amplified fusion rifles, linear fusion rifles, and heat weapons gain increased handling, reload, and vent speeds. But as you can see, we are not using any of those at all. We're actually here for the 4-piece. Shock and Queer. Final blows with a jolt or against jolted combatants creates Ionic Traces. So more and more Ionic Traces. So we get them from here as well. Synergy. So that's 2 to 3 times you could get Ionic Traces from this weapon alone with the help of your subclass. And then in here, since we'll be jolting targets with jolted feedback, you will also be generating more Ionic Traces, giving you stacks of Armor Charge, which will then make it to where precision hits with either of these arc weapons will blind the targets, and we are using the Nail Meat Hammer, so it does do a little bit more damage against shields. As you saw in there, it did do very little damage to the barrier, and that is because of it being an adaptive frame. There is another anti-barrier auto rifle. Just don't know the exact frame it has to be. Unless I go check. I think it's nope. Precision frame. That's what it is. Precision frames are actually kind of better. So if you get a precision frame arc auto, you could go with that. But you also have to keep an account for the origin trait. Like this one right here. This one isn't too bad since we are going to be using our class ability a lot. We are also using the active more rig, so this will give us more damage when we do get more kills. We could also switch out the jolted feedback for rampage, which is really good with trickle charge, especially on Titan. We are using charged up twice, so we'll be having 2 additional armor charges so that we can actually do finishers and heal. And as you guys can see, you can get the Lumina Potent set from Solo Ops. The helmet, running 1 harmonic siphon, and I am running Dynamo and hands-on for the increased super regen. Although I shouldn't be running hands-on. Actually, yeah, I'll keep it on hands-on since my melee is at 125. Nothing to help really with anything on here except for grenade kickstart, since it is going to be generating our arc ionic traces. It's going to give us back those armor charges anyways, and it will also be when it does damage, it would also give us our class ability back a little bit, not entirely, until we get those ionic traces. And the class item, you can have whatever you want on the class item, but it is nice to have the powerful attraction on there, so it does pick up the orbs whenever you use it. Distribution, I use it for the ability cooldown as well, and I also use the healthy finisher. You could swap it out for bulwark finisher, since from the artifact you already do heal, and this will give you an overshield, which would actually be a really good trade-off. Yeah, I was originally going to use it with Centrifuge, that's what it was. The Arc Exotic Auto Rifle. Well, that's pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead and end it right here. Thank y'all for watching. If any of y'all want to join me in my live streams next time, let me know. Send me your friend request. But you have to be subscribed and you have to be in our crew. And yeah, just make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll keep making more videos. Thank y'all for watching.